Alright, we're back. This is Texas Dragon doing another how to win on Quibids real tips video. Today's topic is going to be winning dynamics, alright? And not to be confused with strategies, alright? Strategies are things like bullying or being aggressive or using last second bidding. I mean, those are all strategies. Winning dynamics are the way auctions are won, okay? And there's only three types of main ways, okay? You have snagging, and the snagging part of winning is a really small window, and snagging probably works the least out of the three, but you'll get it for usually the least amount of bids and the lowest auction price. So what happens with snagging is it's that window between when the auction starts, and I consider an auction starting when it hits 20 seconds for the first time, and then when the auction gets exciting. And by that I mean when a lot of people start joining the auction. That's the window for snagging. You can do it. The least likely way to win is to be the first person to place the bid when it starts, and hopefully no one else places a bid. And the best way to do that is when it hits 20 seconds for the very first time, place your bid right then, and you only have to wait 20 seconds to find out if you're going to be the winner. Okay? If you wait and let it get down to 15 seconds and then bid, it still has to jump up to 20 seconds. So you waited an extra 5 seconds, and then you have to jump back up and do 20 seconds. That's 25 seconds you've given your opponent a chance to join the auction and place bids against you. So increase your odds, place it at the 20-second thing. If that's the way you're going, I don't really recommend it. It's not, I mean, it's more of a gamble of just wasting a bid. I mean, it works rarely, but it does work. After that, the way I usually use the snagging technique, or not, the way of winning is I'll let the first or second person place that bid after the 20 seconds, and then I'll start being really aggressive. I'll use a bullying strategy. And the reason I use a bullying strategy right there at the beginning with the snagging is because usually people that place bids at the very beginning of an auction are really timid. They're either really low on bids or they're completely new to Quibids. But either way, they're usually really easy to scare off. They're usually not that committed into winning. And if it's a new person, hopefully, I mean, you can scare them off. But like I said, you always want to stay out of bidding wars. We've got, and you pretty much do that. And if you can't, you'll do that, and you'll be really aggressive. And then if you start noticing new faces and new names start popping up on the bid history, snagging is over, and that's the end of that. Stop with that, and we move on to pushing. Okay, pushing is basically just taking advantage of confusion points, okay? And that's about, with pushing, about 80% of the auctions are won through pushing, okay? Now, a confusion point, let me give you an example, and you've all seen it if you've been on Quibids, is someone will place a bid, let's say at 8 seconds left, and then it'll drop down all the way to 1 second, and then 5-6 people, they'll all place a bid at the same time, alright? Now all these people, when they see that, they just placed a bid and they saw all these other people place the bid, they feel like they just wasted their bid. Okay? And then someone else will place a bid, let's say again at 8 seconds, and it'll get all the way down to 1 second again, and all those people, still don't want the auction to end, and they'll all bid again. And once again, all of them feel like they just wasted their bid. And then someone will place another bid like at 8 seconds or something like that, and then it starts counting down to the last second again, and everybody places the bid again. And once again, they all feel like they just got cheated out of a bid. That's where you want to jump in, because now everybody's going to start, that's a confusion point. So then I would want to be that person who places the bid at 8 seconds, because the next time it comes down to 1 second, there's a good chance, and this is where pushing comes in, that no one is going to place a bid, because everybody thinks that there's a group of people that are placing these last second bids. So they all decide to let everybody else bid, and then what ends up happening is no one bids. So that's a confusion point, and taking advantage of it is called pushing. And like I said, 80% of all auctions are won that way. There's lots of different confusion points. Start watching auctions and you'll see them. What trips up bidders, what gets people confused. There's confusion points that involve bidomatics. There's confusion points when you have two people that are going into a real big bid war. There's all kinds of different confusion points. So remember, that's really something you guys need to start concentrating on and following. Go back, watch my bid dynamics video so you can understand how to manipulate auctions, so you can start creating, instead of waiting for confusion points, you can actually start placing certain types of bids in order to start creating confusion points. That'll make you guys 100 times better than you are now. And then after that, we get into waiting, and that's kind of what the whole kind of series started on, the concept of waiting, and teaching you guys that at first because it's the most basic, but it requires the most information. So you really want to know how many bids people have placed and who's burning out, and you want to know the final ending costs and stuff like that. And a lot of I talk a lot about in the beginning, the first couple of videos, about using last second bids. Okay, here's a refinement on that rule. So let's say this auction right here, $13.30. Okay, if I wanted to come back and I wanted to try to win this again, I'm going to mark that $13.30 if that's the higher end that it ends on my research, because I don't want to look at, oh hey look, this auction ended here at 3 minutes. Alright, not if I'm using the waiting technique. I want to look at the ones that ended up higher. So if $13.30 is on the higher end for this item, what I want to do is I want to wait till about $13.30 before I ever even start placing my 1 penny bid or my last second bids. Okay, and pretty much you can go back to the very first video, and everything I talk about in there is pretty much goes straight into the waiting technique. And you're basically, it's just as the title says, you're waiting till the auction reaches its natural ending point. And you're going to try to take advantage of the win there, okay? And that's usually when people have dropped off. Once we do the auction dynamics video in the Elite series, and you guys start putting the winning dynamics together with the auction dynamics, with the bid dynamics, you guys are just going to be completely unstoppable on Quibids. So that's going to be the end of this video. Remember, rate, vote, subscribe, leave comments down below. Let me know if you liked the video. If you didn't, let me know what videos you want me to do, and we'll do them. Alright, that's going to be it. See you guys in the next video.